The video was called How a Scientist Killed a God, SCP-001, The Black Moon. Video by Anomalous Records.
Thousands of years ago, before civilization, humanity lived alongside God.
Okay, so actually, this was like probably around when the concept of like me was first sort of a thing. This is like probably my first iteration reincarnation, just so that's out there.
Gods and immortal beings with spiritual powers, dubbed today as the Anomalous. At this point in time, the Anomalous was not necessarily anomalous, but rather just what was naturally produced by the Earth alongside humanity. The Earth was just as much theirs as it was humanity's.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like, would y'all want to live in a world with giants, bro? Would y'all want to live in a world where creatures that look like us but are 3 times as tall just walk around? Like, you know what? Let me keep my mouth shut. Let's keep it pushing.
Humanity was also not what it is today. Humans were part of the Anomalous and had many types of powers and magic that would be considered godlike today. Because
interesting. All right, so the way they're building this out, this seems more like they're world building than they are kind of, I guess maybe they're building towards the SCP. Since this is a 001, right? And the 001s are like each SCP author's like magnum opus, like they're big dog.
Of this premature state of,
or was that SCP-001 or SCP-0? I forgot which one was the one that the author tried to do their best work for.
The Earth, humanity had no direction. They were unorganized for years, running around in the anomalous chaos of immortal beings and unexplainable
001s.
horrors. This was until the gods in heaven took pity on them. They used their divine power to establish a city for humanity, a centralized place of gathering and protection against the earthly chaos that lay outside its walls.
Okay, that looks like some Mayan shit or something. I don't know.
This city was named the City of Kish. The gods appointed a determined
or it's the City of Kish
and strong mortal to rule Kish, named 𝙏𝙖𝙡𝙠. Humanity flourished for hundreds of years due to their inherent aversion to natural death, united together under 𝙏𝙠 and protected against the terrors that lay outside the walls of Kish. However, there was one issue. 𝙏𝙠 was unable to produce an heir, meaning that with the inevitable end of his long but mortal life, the city of Kish would fall, and humanity would once again be thrown back into the chaos of the powerful being.
Damn, bro, the gods ain't pre-plot for that? Yeah, maybe we should make our immortal protector have some way of reproducing or spinning the block, bro. Otherwise, this whole shit is just going to get canceled out and go back into having to fight dinosaurs and shit.
Around them. He begged the gods in the heavens for the ability to produce an heir, an ability present within what they called the seed of life.
Hold on, bruh. He begged for the ability to produce an heir. I know what he was on, bro. He ain't even care about producing an heir, bro. Old boy just wanted some buns. I see what's going on here. Nigga begged the gods for some buns, bro. It can never be that deep. You can never be that down bad. Hold on, let me start my timer. Let's go there. All right.
However, they refused, until Shamash, the ruler of the sun, took pity on him. Shamash united 𝙏𝙠 with one of the birds of earth at
Yo, goddamn, big ass eagle.
The time, which appeared to be in the form of a giant eagle. 𝙏𝙠 rode this eagle into the heavens, where he begged the gods once again to grant him the seed of life.
Yo, this nigga want buds too bad, bro. Nigga got a giant pet eagle, a super creature. Immediately took the whip up to heaven, back to the gods to once again beg them for buns, bro. I never seen a creature this down bad in my life, bro.
They refused. So 𝙏𝙠 flew past the heavens and into the Black Sea of the cosmos. There he found an entity, even older and greater than anything on Earth or in the heavens. This entity granted him the seed of life with little hesitation, but with a few rules. Humanity would lose their long-lived nature.
Humanity would become solely flesh and bones. Okay, so is this like a humanity origin story sort of thing?
And anomalous powers, and become more biologically vulnerable, turning into...
Okay, so basically what I'm seeing here is that this immortal dude sold us all for some buns. We could have had quirks. We could have had superpowers. We could have really been out here like living a whole different life, bro. We could have been like, this could have been some Black Clover shit where everyone gets their own personal power. But old boy sold us out to reproduce and turned us into normal people.
creatures with lifespans and abilities governed solely by the harsh laws of physics and biology. This new age, made possible by the seed of life, would not last forever, as humanity would eventually all perish, and time would claim them, either naturally or through the entity's doing. 𝙏𝙗, desperate for an heir, agreed.
Yo, did you not consult with the rest of us? Like, can we not make big decisions like that?
Asked for what to call this great entity of the void, and it responded to him, not in words, but in ideas, ones that only 𝙏𝙗 could understand.
Okay, so I'm assuming the big void creature is probably that's probably going to be the SCP that it's focused on, right?
𝙏𝙗 returned back to Earth and shared the news among the people of Kish. The Seed of Life did exactly what the entity of the void promised. It allowed 𝙏𝙗 to birth an heir and for life to multiply, eventually spilling off Earth and seeding the universe with thousands of new mortal species. But every species that the seed gave birth to.
Did it just not pause my video? Did y'all see that? Anyway, so he fucked around and basically repopulated the whole universe. But he sold us out in the process. L-Mans.
Was bound by the same deal humanity was, the one 𝙏𝙗 made with the entity of the void. Thousands of years later, Sargon of Akkad overthrew 𝙏𝙗's descendants.
What? Okay, so... okay, we fast forward into history, I guess.
And with this act, he discovered how the true, godlike nature of humanity was stripped away due to 𝙏𝙗's deal with the void. Enraged, but mostly saddened, Sargon attempted to bury and destroy all records of this deal, with fear that knowledge of humanity's original godlike nature would...
Interesting. So is the record of the deal going to be the SCP? Well, the SCP is called the Black Moon. And the big void looks like a black moon. So I'm assuming that's probably the angle we're going to be taking.
Drive the masses into madness. It's December of 2022, a weirdly warm spring morning.
December 22. Okay, so that was, what? Damn, 4 years ago already? Oh, that kind of took me off guard. My brain wanted to say 2 years ago. No, that's 4 years ago now. Golly.
Francis Fritz Williams walks into his job as a researcher in the SCP Foundation's...
I'm not gonna lie, this is a nice ass building, like kind of calming waiting room. And why is the SCP Foundation just cooling it in a random like urban location, bro? That makes me very uncomfortable. You telling me Shy Guy might be next to my Starbucks?
Spring morning. Francis Fritz Williams walks into his job as a researcher in the SCP Foundation's Department of Tactical Theology, specifically
I guess it's a specific department, not where they're keeping people. A Department of Tactical Theology is fire, though, bro. Imagine the shit that you're dealing with being so existential that you need a whole department for tactical theology because you might run into gods and shit.
Archaeology branch. Francis drags himself to his desk. Just another day in the office. He probably just has more translations to do today. A pretty boring task for his matured mind. As he begins to settle in for the day, a fellow researcher in the archaeology branch, Tristan White, pops into Francis's office. Tristan says that they have found a few new items from the Foundation's ongoing dig in Iraq and asks Francis to come take a look at them. As they walk into the laboratory, Francis sets it.
So they do got a lab in here, bro. They are looking at some dangerous shit around us. Again, right outside our Starbucks across the street from Chipotle. I don't like this setup.
His eyes on the collections of tablets laid out on the examination table. He knows exactly what these are. These tablets are the Sumerian king lists, some of which have been in the Foundation's possession for
cuneiform. This is a cool little animation.
A few years now, but there have been new additions to the collection from the dig in Iraq. Tristan explains to Francis that these new additions were found in a cache of King Sargon where the city of Akkad once stood, or something like that. Francis was left alone.
Ooh, don't do that. God, okay, I'm not gonna lie, that shit got me a little bit, bro. Okay, before y'all fry me, let it be known that this shit is probably louder in my ears right now than it is in yours, okay? I did not get jump scared by some Arial font. Like, I need that to be clear and understood. Okay? Thank you. So you don't gotta fry me, all right? Like, that shit was, that's some good editing. That's some good editing.
On where the city of Akkad once stood, or something like that. Francis was left alone.
Does the Black Moon howl? Okay, so this, no. Okay,
to decipher and study the tablets.
I'm
From the tablets, he learned of the history of a deal that a man named 𝙏𝙗 made with a being of the void.
That nigga 𝙏𝙗 really sold us all, bro.
Tablets said that the void gave 𝙏𝙗 the seed of life, and that the void would eventually come to reclaim such life. Francis figured that he must be missing a tablet explaining more information about the deal and the state of humanity at the time, but he figured it wasn't of much importance, given that he had learned what he needed to know. He now knew what this being of the void was that was referenced in human history, and what exactly its relationship with humanity is. It was the Black Moon.
Yeah, okay.
You see, Francis Fritz Williams isn't just a scientist and researcher for the SCP Foundation. Francis is the
reincarnation, isn't he?
administrator of.
Oh, okay, he's big. Okay, see, I'm trying to pre-predict what it might be. I got a little ahead of myself there. So he's the big homie at the SCP Tactical Theology Department.
The Foundation, 051 as some call it. Him and a team of high-clearance specialized researchers have been working for years on containing SCP-001, which they call the Black Moon. In their years of research so far, they've established that the Black Moon is an entropic entity.
So what do we gain by containing this in particular, bro? Why are my taxpayer dollars going into trying to contain God? This is what I'm trying to figure out. How about you niggas contain that pothole like outside? How about that? Like what do we? I understand the pursuit of knowledge, but like, what do we gain trying to contain these things, bro? All we're gonna do is either upset them, get ourselves killed. I feel like nothing good can come from trying to interact with certain things, bro. Okay, not too much on Arby's. Not too much on Arby's, bro. Arby's is don't make me go on my Arby's rant, bro.
Entity of significant power that exists outside our conventional reality.
Okay, SCP-001 known information. An entropic entity, okay. Yeah, so God.
Capable of acting on the material world.
Capable of acting on the material
by
world.
Random and sudden obliteration of conscious organisms.
I'm sorry, what? See, how do you see this shit? How do you discover something, quote, capable of acting on the material world by random and sudden obliteration of conscious organisms and say, yeah, this is what we're pursuing. I want to go after this thing right here. I want to put myself in front of random and sudden obliteration. Just boom, snapped out, poofed. Okay, bro. That's y'all. See, I couldn't work for the SCP Foundation because I'm gonna be the whistleblower, bro. I'm taking this whole shit down. Hey, Mr. President, we gotta they wilding over here, bro. Come arrest these niggas. Pardon me.
This results in the organism in question being spontaneously transmuted into a solid black substance, then disappearing completely exactly 4 seconds later. These spontaneous obliterations are very rare.
That's old boy from the Marvel movies, bro, who was turning niggas into shadows on the ground and shit. Sentry, right? That was Sentry, wasn't it?
Rare, only occurring once every few decades. However, Francis's team has also noted that these obliterations have been increasing exponentially over the years, incapable of acting on the material world while it's being observed. However, observation of a pure entropic entity outside our reality is, in fact, impossible. The administrator made...
Ooh, okay. That one shouldn't have got me. That one shouldn't have got me, bro. I'm embarrassed of that. Like, I just don't do well with those kind of jumpy jump scares. Like, it don't even have to be something scary. It's just the loud noise in my ear, bro. I don't do well with it. Okay? Again, understand this is probably louder in my ear than it is in yours. Does the Black Moon howl? No. Without... Oh, not without blood. Okay. So now we gotta sacrifice niggas, right?
Containment of the Black Moon, his top priority, decades ago, after his team learned about the exponential increase in
096. Why does that sound familiar? SCP-096 was which one? The Shy Guy. Okay. Yo, Shy Guy must be like the big homie, bro. He always popping up in all this SCP stuff.
Random obliterations, as if left unchecked, every conscious organism in the universe would technically eventually cease to exist. In 1993, they had previously tried to exploit Aspect 3 of the Black...
Okay, incapable of acting on the material world while it's being observed. Okay, so it does have a weakness.
Moon, the fact that it is incapable of obliterating organisms when observed by finding or creating anomalous entities that are similar to the Black Moon in this sense, and conceptually linking...
So they created this? Or no. This is a different anomalous
to the Black Moon.
Entity. Conceptually linked it to the Black Moon, whatever that means.
These would be denoted as SCP-001-key instances. Such entities needed to be similar to the Black Moon in that they are unable to act under observation, are hostile towards all...
So did they try to create these things as like avatars of the Black Moon that could be observed and thus fulfill the black moon being observed, and it wouldn't be able to act upon the material world.
Conscious life, and actively choose to end conscious life if given the opportunity to. One of the SCP-001- key instances that they had chosen was SCP-173, as if
What the fuck is this?
all these criteria and that
Ew.
it is a concrete statue.
Oh, is that the one that be disappearing? Okay, okay. That's the one that you have to keep looking at, right? Or is that a different one? Because, so I guess do SCP authors commonly draw upon and include other authors' SCPs and their story in their world to kind of like further flesh it out? And so like, the feats that, for instance, SCP, let's say 173 over here, SCP-173 might, show up in another author's story, not as the primary SCP, but as, something completely different. Like in this case, quote unquote key of SCP-001. Okay, that's cool. So it's kind of like everyone is making, everyone does their thing, and then they throw it all into this big ass pot, right? This big ass pot of puzzle pieces. And, anyone can kind of pull from this pot of puzzle pieces to build their particular story. And then once that story is built, it goes into the pot. It kind of reminds me of, not really, but it's similar to like Tolkien-esque fantasy sort of ish, a little bit, in the sense that like one of the things that I think is like beneficial for projects like these or things like Tolkien-esque fantasy or SCPs is that I almost feel like it's similar to sampling music in the sense that, how do I put this? When you use something that people are already familiar with, that gives you the potential to subvert things. You know what I mean? And so, we come into a story like this with something like SCP-173. We have all of these preconceived notions about what we know about this SCP already. And so now the author can play with these preconceived notions in a way that you couldn't really do in an entirely original verse. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say SCP-173 didn't exist. And so, this story just wrote in something, a quote unquote key. That would be cool. The concept of a key is cool, but seeing someone borrow from another author in a way that makes it their own is like a different type of cool. You know what I mean? They're both, original world building and, quote unquote, like trope sampling. They can both be cool in very distinct ways.
That is unable to move when being observed, and if unobserved, moves at supersonic speeds to the closest organism and fractures their neck. Using conceptual engineering.
So hold on though. What if I don't have a neck? Hold on though. Did we just find the key? Did we just find the key? Did we just find the only nigga who could beat the only two niggas who could beat SCP-173. They're our only hope. You can't fracture the neck if you don't have one. Come on now. They need to recruit me for the Foundation, bro. Division of Tactical Recruitment. I'll take let's say, give me 5 M's per year and I got y'all.
The administrator and his team linked SCP-173 to the Black Moon and kept it under observation at every second of every day. Okay. However, on January 29th, 1993...
imagine that observer job, bro. Like, what do you mean? So when they say observation, do they mean direct observation? Because, if we think about things quantumly, right? And I'm not a quantum physicist. I'm kind of just parroting vaguely what I remember from when we briefly went over this in a physics class. But observation in physics is a bit different than observation is in someone directly seeing it. As in, if something is being watched quantumly on some Schrodinger's cat type shit, it exists in a different state than if it's being unobserved. If something is being recorded, for instance. So if I just have a camera recording SCP-173, is that cool? Or does there have to be a consciousness interpreting its existence, and then, we go from there?
However, on January 29th, 1993, the first double obliteration event by SCP-001 was recorded in Rome, Italy, with 2 tourists being obliterated. It was later confirmed that at the time of this event, all SCP-001-key instances were being observed. Following the discovery of
it found a loophole to beat us.
The new Kingless tablets and subsequent learning of the Black Moon's motives for the obliteration of conscious organisms, the administrator decided to figure out if humanity was the only conscious species affected by the Black Moon, as well as if a method to stop the Black Moon even existed, given that the SCP-001-key method he tried in the past.
I told you, and I would be lying if I said it didn't get me a little bit. I would be lying if I said I didn't feel my heart jump a little bit. You know, it's kind of dark in here. I'm alone apart from Eno. And I mean, shit, if SCP fuck all decides to... Oh, did I just break my camera? This is very inconvenient. Hold on. Did the SCP just grab me, bro? Hold on. Fuck, the SCP. He's too strong. He froze me in time. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, yeah. That dog is not finna protect me if SCP Black Moon attacks me right now. So, you know. Only at the blind.
Didn't work. He enacted the start of 2 projects, Project Oromasdes, and the construction of something called the Singular Conceptual Bunker, a strange and abstract project that might become useful one day. On the other hand, Project Oromasdes was a large-scale, long-term initiative that involved the creation of an object called SCP-001-Seek. It's August of 3764.
3764. We've spent 1,700 years trying to contain this nigga, bro. Can we just let him be? Like, let's keep it a stack right now, all right? If SCP Black Moon wants to poof 1 or 2 niggas per year, 3 or 4, 9 or 10, 100 or 200, shit, even 1,000. If 1,000 niggas gotta go per year, then 1,000 niggas gotta go per year. You know? It's just a part of life. Let's not try to contain this thing and get closer to fucking this all over, all right? The odds of you being one of those 1,000 are minuscule. But if you happen to be one of those 1,000, shit, tough luck. Tough titties. Tough, like the odds are low enough that I'm willing to take those odds over whatever the fuck they're going to do if we piss that shit off, bruh. I'll take those odds. I don't know about y'all, but I'm taking those odds. What the fuck? Okay, now my shit tweaking. What the hell? Okay, now the SCP coming after me again. All right, I'm back.
Humanity has continued to thrive on Earth and is technologically flourishing with new methods of energy consumption and highly advanced machines. Yet, the Black Moon's power has not been stopped and has continued to obliterate humans at an increasing rate. The administrator stands in the control room at Foundation Site-01, accompanied by members of his SCP-001 countermeasure research team. Given that
These niggas locked the fuck out, bruh. These are the niggas we got researching to try to save humanity? This nigga kicked back with his hands on his head like he on vacation. Yo, lock in. Yo, get him off the team, bro. He's not taking this shit serious enough for me. What the? You're trying to contain God, and you got the nerve to be hitting this one right here. Like shit is sweet out here. This is why we're never going to contain the Black Moon.
Given that he is the administrator of an organization that contains and studies thousands of anomalies, the fact that he and his team are still alive in the year 3764.
Wait, yeah, how the fuck are they still alive? Are they immortal? Did they get like, what's going on? Also, wait, my YouTube stream camera is fucked up now. Okay, this is annoying. Hold on, give me 1 sec. Oh, there we go. You know what? YouTube stream will be fine. Is what it is. Is what it is. Let me try this one more time. All right, let's keep it pushing. Whatever. Wait, what the fuck? Why did it go dark? Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there, bro. Anyway.
Is nothing out of the ordinary, as they have been extensive users of lifespan-altering anomalous items.
Oh, okay. So they're using they're using this shit to get their own immortality, bruh. Lifespan-altering anomalous items. They over there talking to the government. Nah, trust me, bro. We need this, bruh. I'm not gonna lie. I see the true plot here. These niggas just want an excuse to be immortal. Yeah, bro, we working on capturing God, bruh. It's like when you got a job to do. It's like when you at your job and you take the most time-consuming task possible just so you have the most time to reasonably work on it and say like, nah, bro, I'm still working on it. That's basically what these niggas are doing, bro. Yeah, we're trying to capture God. We're going to need a couple lifetimes. We're going to need a couple lifetimes to handle that. So, yeah. Check back in on us in 3 lifetimes and we'll give you a progress update.
They're currently monitoring data from SCP-001-𝙏𝙖𝙡𝙠, which is a biomechanical spacefaring vessel designed to traverse space.
These niggas sent out a space sperm, bro. Just inventing bullshit. Just creating bullshit. Just experimenting and having fun. Pretending like they're trying to capture God. Also, I feel like another jump scare is coming, so be ready.
In search of extraterrestrial civilizations that could have potential knowledge regarding SCP-001.
Yeah, bro, we looking
the
for
vessel is
aliens that
almost
can help
pure
us.
black in color, 1,000 meters in length, 300 meters in width, and 600 meters in height. SCP-001-𝙏𝙖𝙡 is equipped with anomalous and non-anomalous technology in order to aid its effectiveness in its tasks under Project Oromasdes, including antimatter-based thrusters that are accompanied by cilia and flagella to aid in movement in space. A Type 40
So
organic
it's supposed to be like a little bacteria, like a little cell. Bacteria-based rocket ship.
learning computer, which was artificially grown in such a manner that it is capable of handling a significantly greater capacity of information than any extant human or transhuman. A universal translator reverse engineered from the remains of the disassembled SCP, capable of
SCP what?
assimilating languages in several nanoseconds and
Oh, is this like a SCP that can't be spoken in language or something? That's kind of a cool concept. Like the concept of this SCP can't even be put into words. And so like even the quote unquote narrator, as he's trying to say it got bleeped out because our measly human brains couldn't conceptualize it or something like that. Or maybe it's just redacted.
providing basic context. A transcription unit conceptually linked to an identical one in Site-01, allowing the instantaneous transmission of information back and forth. 300 biological drones capable of flight and locomotion, directly controlled by SCP-001-𝙏𝙖𝙡's organic learning computer via telepathic connection. 3,000 experimental cryogenic units capable of storing and preserving biological samples
every
for extended
time he
periods of
really
time
gets to
in order
yapping,
to
every time he gets to yapping heavy, bro, that's when he tries to lull us a little bit. And then he's going to do some analog horror creep shit.
Prevent SCP-001-𝙏𝙖𝙡 from becoming a valid target for SCP-001. It has been ensured that, although it is capable of feats of advanced intelligence, it is not actually conscious.
Okay, so that's one counter. Using an AI instead of a conscious being. I'm not gonna lie. Who y'all got? SCP-001 Black Moon or ChatGPT?
From the years 3156 to 3764, SCP-001-𝙏𝙖𝙡 logged data on approximately 500 planets with signs of civilization, with 3 noteworthy explorations. Exploration 39 consisted of a planet theoretically capable of supporting life, but with blizzards and snowstorms covering the planet. No living conscious life was discovered. All cities were abandoned and consisted of primary...
Oh, okay, so they did have life at one point. Whatever life was on here was just straight bullshitting, bro. Building conic houses and shit. shiny, conic, like chrome houses.
Early cone-based architecture, with collected data revealing that the inhabitants were spherical life forms with touch-based means of information storage. However, no information
Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Let's get back to it. These conic
on
aliens
the
on their
species
abandoned
understanding
planet.
of SCP-001 was discovered, despite many recordings of inhabitants being obliterated and societal chaos due to such obliterations. Exploration 202 consisted of a volcanic planet, majorly incapable of supporting life, but with small, habitable temperate zones at both poles. No living conscious life was discovered, but remains of a civilization were. These remains consisted
So this is probably a planet that got destroyed. All these planets are probably planets that got destroyed by the Black Moon in the past. Am I wrong?
of large black cylindrical buildings thousands of meters tall that served as communal dwelling areas for millions of organisms. Analyzed scripts and art found that the planetary population had a feeling of general acceptance of the events caused by the Black Moon's obliterations.
Yeah.
With
These are clearly planets that the Black Moon been smoked already.
Meaning that many individuals were content in, waiting for the coming of the Howl. The cylindrical buildings were overrun with a bat-like species that was
So they just fucked around and said, hey, bro, see, this is the type of mindset I feel like potentially you might have to adopt in these situations sometimes. Like, yeah, you could go ahead and try to beat the God Moon up there if you want. But I kind of like where this civilization's head was at. Hey, we're cooked. We're just going to enjoy our time while we're here. Sure, their planet might have got turned to a volcanic bundle of ash floating through space. But, what can you do about it?
alive, but after further testing, not in fact conscious. This fully confirmed that SCP-001 does not target non-conscious organisms. Exploration 499 consisted of a planet with a climate similar to Earth, in which the entire surface of the planet had been urbanized.
Oh, they got the Viltrumites up out of here. This planet Viltrum right here. I know y'all see that architecture.
Large megacities, estimated to be around 1,000 years more advanced than the current state of urban infrastructure and technology on Earth. Yep. These cities had incorporated the surrounding environment into them, with large farms and forests on the roofs of buildings.
See, bro, we could be here. We could be here if we stop lobbying against solar power and shit. But nah, we got to keep using coal.
The original inhabitants of these megacities were no longer present, and such cities had been overrun with non-conscious plants and animals.
Hey, and sometimes that just might, a moose got to pull up. We left a nice big city, or they left a nice big city for the mooses and shit. I'm not going to lie, this looks a lot like Earth. Why the fuck? I mean, I guess, theoretically, somewhere out there in the universe, a creature very similar to a moose probably does exist. I mean, if we're saying the universe is damn near infinite, it has to exist. But why does big-ass moose just cooling it in the city, bruh?
Numerous underground bunkers were found, presumed to be an attempt to shield against the effects of SCP-001. One working cryogenic unit was also found in one of these bunkers, which contained a singular surviving conscious organism of the planet's native species, which was a species of intelligent humanoid fungi that...
Intelligent humanoid fungi. That's Toad. That's Toad from Mario. What's good, Toad? Oh, they got me. They got me. I was trying to get my joke off. They said ain't shit funny, bro. Horror time. Does the Black Moon howl? Not while the stars shine. Okay. Whatever that means.
Communicated through telepathic links. SCP-001-Seek's drones extracted this cryogenic unit and stored it aboard the vessel. SCP-001-Seek then started its journey back to Earth, with success in its mission of acquiring a potential source of knowledge about SCP-001.
Okay, cool.
The year is 5011.
Another 2,000 years wasted, bro. I'm telling you, they in this lab bullshit.
The singular conceptual bunker has almost completed construction. SCP-001-Seek has returned to Earth with the cryogenic pod containing the humanoid fungal entity, denoted as SCP-001-Sage.
Oh, so they bought bro. Okay, so they're gonna, unfreeze him and be like, hey, can you help us out, please?
The administrator and his team successfully awakened SCP-001-Sage from its cryogenic pod.
I wonder why he was able to survive, though. Was it because in a cryogenic state, he was considered non-conscious?
Engaged in multiple interviews and questioning with the creature. SCP-001-Sage explains that it served as a renowned scholarly figure on its home planet, or an SCP Foundation-like equivalent, with its primary subject of research being the phenomenon that the Foundation designates as...
Yeah, that's the last thing I want to hear, I'm not going to lie. Our one hope of information comes back to life and saying, yo, I was doing the exact same thing. as you guys. And my planet got destroyed. Oh yeah, that'd be the last shit I'm trying to hear.
SCP-001. Following its failure to produce a countermeasure, SCP-001-SAGE placed itself into cryogenic sleep in an attempt to escape being obliterated by SCP-001. Note
Clearly
that
it
sleep
worked.
does not counteract SCP-001.
Sleep does not counter shit. 001 is lucky this sleep doesn't counteract it, bro, because I could sleep all day. Please give me a reason to sleep all day, bro. I guess you're still technically conscious when you're asleep, but, you know. So, like, let's say 001 attacks and I lobotomize myself, make myself, like, brain dead. Would I survive? Or would I still go? I feel like there's got to be some loopholes to go through this. Cryogenic seems like a loophole. I guess that takes you out of consciousness. We might have to do the brain dead method, the lobotomization method. That maybe will take you out of consciousness and allow you to survive. There's some methods here to experiment with.
1. As proven by the SCP Foundation in the New Mexico Long Sleep Project. Therefore, SCP-001-SAGE's survival was solely due to chance. SCP-001-SAGE and the administrator discussed the nature of SCP-001 for days, sharing knowledge of their findings on it, as well as experience with it. One particular topic of repeated discussion from SCP-001-SAGE was the mentioning of its sense that the administrator was a universal counterweight, and that he seemed like he was the only one who could neutralize SCP-001.
Okay, so see, now they gassing his head up. Now they gassing his head up. Yeah, bro, I think you're the chosen one, actually. Yeah, dude, it's you. We need you, bro. You're going to gas his head up. You're going to make him do some stupid shit like, that's 𝙏🖏🡪. Yo, the universe needs you, sir. You're the universal counterweight. You're the only one who could save us. I mean, I would be flattered, but I'm not doing all that.
001-SAGE also somehow knew the story of Atana and his deal with SCP-001, denoting it as a universal debt, which his species and all species owed, which was strange. Aside from this, there was no new notable information shared about SCP-001. After their interview had finally concluded,
the moon only howls when waning. That one didn't get me. I'm starting to get used to it.
The administrator realized there were only two options: either perish into blackness with the rest of the universe, or confront SCP-001 face to face, similar to how Atana...
So 3,000 years later, okay, we might actually have to go approach this thing. We got to stop bullshitting now and actually get some stuff done. So now he's reached the point in the project where his bosses are like, yeah, bro, you've been working on this for 1, 2, 3,000 years, and we haven't really seen the deliverables we were looking for. If you could just pick up the pace a little bit, you know, we really want to see a deliverable by the end of the millennium. So you might have to, cut some corners. Now he actually has to, okay, I got to stop stalling now and actually get the work done.
Approach the entity. The singular conceptual bunker is now complete. The singular conceptual bunker is a vessel that uses theoretical mathematics and reality-altering anomalous technology to make itself exist merely as a concept, allowing an individual to hide inside it and be invisible to the influence and obliterations of SCP-001.
So that's what they were working on. They were making themselves a hideout. Okay.
Given the limited amount of anomalous technology available, the bunker is only able to house one individual. The administrator enters it.
Uh-oh. That doesn't look good.
And launches into space, leaving instructions for the Foundation to be run by a new O5 Council in his indefinite absence. All conscious organisms have been obliterated by SCP-001, with no more conscious organisms left. The fundamental laws of reality have
so he really is the chosen one. He is like the last airbender in this shit, bro. just frozen in a block of ice while everyone else is cooked.
Collapsed. Without minds to observe the universe, space, time, and celestial bodies have simply unraveled into nothingness. The only things that exist in the universe are SCP-001 and the singular conceptual bunker. The bunker visually resembles a bar with bottles of liquor.
Yo, this how I know he was bullshitting, bro. Cause why is this shit so clean and accommodating? yeah, I'm gonna base this shit off my favorite bar. Was that really necessary? You had to take extra 375 years to get yourself a high-end bar? Okay, bro.
Liquor lined on the shelves and countertops, complete with stools, brick walls, and pristine hardwood floors. A jukebox in the corner plays songs to pass the time. The administrator stands behind the bar, wiping it down with a rag, in a rather pleasant mood given the circumstances. He is expecting a visitor. The Black Moon opens the door to the bar and walks in. The administrator welcomes the
shit. Okay, this is kind of cold, actually. Oh, I've been expecting you, God.
Asking the Black Moon if it wants a drink. The Black Moon seemingly ignores the question, its black, smoke-like form hissing of thousands of tiny whispers. An inquiry.
Yeah, so he's going to have to undo the weak-ass deal that the dude from the beginning who was fiending for buns. He's going to have to try to find a way to undo this deal.
Cares about what this place is, which prompts the administrator to cock a grin. It's just a bar, he says with a smile. The Black Moon is confused. You see, given that it's an all-powerful being of pure entropic energy, incapable of even being observed, it shouldn't even be able to stand on the floor of this place. But it is able to, because this isn't a physical place. It's all just conceptual information provided by the administrator. When there was an infinite amount of things to consume however many years ago, the Black Moon's form was proportional to that, and thus...
So does that mean he could just turn this place into anything he wants at any time? Because that sounds pretty fire, but I'm not gonna lie. An anything room
was so large and powerful that it was outside reality. However, since the administrator is the only physical thing left in the universe to consume, the Black Moon is reduced merely to the size of a human. You made a deal, says the Black Moon.
Oh. Interesting. So does the Black Moon take human shape? Because the last fucking thing that exists, the last uneaten concept in the universe is a human, aka the administrator. And so the Black Moon is kind of forced, if it wants to take shape, it has to take shape of a human. It's kind of cool. I like that.
Obviously referencing the fateful day 𝙏𝙖 gave humanity a new birth, but also bound them to death, along with the rest of the universe, unknowingly. I don't care. I just think you've taken this a little too far. The administrator responds sarcastically. Meaningless. What have you done to me? I brought you down to my level. It seems I know more about your own nature than you do. Meaningless. You'll die like the rest of them. The Black Moon starts to tense up, seemingly preparing to finally end all life in the universe. So the administrator reaches under the counter and pulls out a shotgun.
the conceptual shotgun. Yo, at the end, this some American ass shit, bro. Niggas fighting God in the last final battle. Pull out the double barrel. Buddha! Boom that nigga.
Not one of iron and wood, but one conceptually crafted from the will of the administrator to preserve humanity. He fires 2 slugs right into the Black Moon's chest, throwing it to the ground. Obviously angered by this attempt, the Black Moon roars up and charges the administrator, collapsing the two into a heap. The administrator gets to his feet first, more used to his physical form.
So because this thing doesn't know how to be a human, so he about to get dogged out in here.
And with more than a little bit of spite, stomps down on the joint of the Black Moon's knee. The Black Moon howls. The administrator snags an
That shit hurt, don't it? Oh yeah, wait till I hit you in your concept of balls, bruh. Wait till I grab them shits, pause, then it's over.
Ashtray off the countertop as the Black Moon drags him back to the ground. Summoning his last memories of strength, the administrator brings his arm up, the one holding the ashtray. The crystalline saucer comes down on the Black Moon's head once, twice, thrice, more. So many times that it becomes a blur of movement until the moment the Black Moon goes down, limp. The administrator is now the only thing left in the universe. He stumbles over to the jukebox and pulls a coin out of his pocket, grinning. He puts the coin in the jukebox and says something awfully familiar. Let there be light.
That was kind of cold. That ending was kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie. Did we just get the God backstory? If he reset the whole cycle. Okay, that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that could be some time loop shit too. That's cool. That's cool. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. A little animation and shit with it too. Anomalous Records. Yo, shout out Anomalous Records, bro. That was very cool. I like that.